Hey, what's up guys? Thanks for stopping by the channel. So for this video, we're featuring a very unique micro brand based out of Ottawa, Canada called ACIZEM. And on the wrist, I have their Enygmah in the Heritage Bronze variation. Now there's multiple variants of the Enygmah that are available, each limited to 250 pieces total, with a retail price on the leather strap of about 845 Canadian dollars. Now I do have to admit that this particular watch design is a big departure from the flavor of timepieces that are normally featured on this channel, but I also really enjoy the opportunity to give these brands a platform and see maybe if this watch could be right for you. So why don't we flip the camera around now and you guys can take a close-up look at this Heritage Bronze Enygmah in the studio.
We keep on rolling, no we ain't slowing it down. We ain't slowing down. We keep on moving along. We keep on rolling, yeah. No we ain't slowing it down. Let's go. We ain't slowing down, baby. Come and show me how. Gotta do it right now. You know you gotta hold me down.
So now that we're in the studio, we can take a closer look at this ACIZEM Enygmah Heritage Bronze. And I would like to actually start off by thanking the brand for sending in this watch for the review video. Though this isn't a sponsored review, the team did also encourage me to express my personal opinions of this rather uniquely designed timepiece. So there's actually a fair amount of written narrative that accompanies the design inspiration for the watch on the company's website, which you're definitely free to check out. Link is in the description. But in brief, the Enygmah is a symbol of people that progress through uncertainty in their lives and over time can find strength to redefine their identities. So I do think this lore does translate well into some of the unique elements of the watch itself, which of course in many ways is a big departure from a conventional watch with respect to the lack of dial symmetry, the ergonomics of this crown, as well as the case lugs. Now, if we do actually focus in on the dial, the time telling is done via a copper tone disc that is offset and it's actually raised over this really cool bubble-like surface at the very periphery of the dial. Now, the polished hour markers are applied batons that have even and loomed Arabic numerals inboard of the dial, as well as a skeletonized hour and minute hand that does have luminova on their tips as well. Now below the 12 o'clock position is the company's logo, as well as the location where they are in Canada, which is our capital, Ottawa. And then replacing the 6 o'clock is actually a large sub-seconds dial. And then interestingly, below that sub-seconds dial, you have this cool gold plaque that does have the model name, movement details, as well as the water resistance printed in black. So visually, I think these dial elements come together surprisingly well. And I like the contrast of these white Arabic markers for the even hours, and then also the white markers on that constant seconds, as well as the sense of depth that you do get when viewing this watch through that heavily domed sapphire crystal. Now for this heritage model, I just assumed that this case material was bronze, but in fact it is 316L stainless steel. That's just a bronze tone. I guess that might be a plus for some folks because stainless steel won't patina over time like bronze material tend to do. And these lugs themselves are a similar gold tone, and they're like two separate spheres, and they fix themselves to the center of each side of the case, which is kind of interesting. And it does actually bring me to the supplied leather strap here, which is integrated into these lugs. So conventional straps won't actually fit this watch just because of that unique cutout that is there. Now the strap itself is 20 millimeters where it does fix to the actual lugs, and then it has a slight taper to a butterfly deployment polished clasp. I do wish that this clasp was polished and in a bronze tone instead of being silver. It would just be a more cohesive look that way to match the case. And on the underside of a strap, it is branded, and it also says top layer leather. Now, top layer leather is a little bit more robust than like cheaper genuine leather, so it should last pretty well over time. And the strap actually conforms very well to the wrist. I think being so thin does help with the break-in period. So here's a quick in-studio shot just to give you a sense for how well this timepiece wears on a 7.5-inch wrist size. It does wear pretty comfortable, and of course it's not a subtle watch by any means. It does have a bit of wrist presence too. The weight is 101 grams for the watch head and supplied leather strap. So with respect to the case dimensions, it is 42.5 millimeters across the case, not including the crown guard. Looking at the side profile, one end of the integrated lug to the other is 49 millimeters across, and it has a thickness of 13.4 millimeters measured from the bottom of the case back, which I actually like that they used their ACIZEM logo for the display portion to give you a peek at the gold tone movement. And then you also measure it from the top of that heavily domed sapphire, which does have anti-reflective treatment on the underside. So with respect to the automatic movement inside this watch, it is a gold tone Miyota 82S5. So this movement is more of a base Miyota 8 series movement, but it does have that sub-seconds complication, and you can hack and hand wind the movement as well. It does pivot on 21 joules, ticks away with a 3 Hz beat rate, and does have a 42-hour power reserve. Now at the price point of 845 Canadian dollars, it would have been nice if they went with a more upgraded, like a 9 series Miyota movement, just because they tend to have better tolerances for timekeeping, and they do have a higher beat rate. And if you do want to set the time with this movement, you just have to pull out the crown, which is located between 4 and 5 o'clock, with a full crown guard too. And then you can actually hack the movement and set accurately to any reference time you want. It is just a push-pull crown, so you can just push it back into place, and it's actually fairly easy to wind up. You just run your finger or thumbnail below the crown guard here. Now, despite it just being a push-pull crown, this watch still does have an impressive 100 meters of water resistance, which is a nice touch. So overall, this is an interesting release from ACIZEM with many bold choices that I think will polarize people's opinions on this particular watch. I do like how they use their company logo not just on the dial, but on the case back as well. And the visual elements on the dial are very, very cool. I really like that bubble texture at the periphery of a dial and the raised and offset copper tone disc where time telling is done. If I was going to offer some areas for improvement, I will say that I would like to see a little bit of a better quality control on some of the dial components, as some do look a little bit rough, especially the tips of the hour hand look a little bit marked up. That being said, you won't notice that with the naked eye, just if you're looking under a loupe or something. And in terms of ergonomics on the wrist, I will say it wears a little bit top heavy, mainly because the case profile is like a small pocket watch and the strap is very thin. It doesn't really give a lot of support to keep it anchored on your wrist. And in addition to that, I'm personally not a fan of wearing leather straps, and this is kind of geared as a dress/sports piece, so it would be nice if they also offered an option for a rubber. I know you can purchase this watch on a bracelet for a little bit more money, so bracelet might be the way to go. So hopefully this overview will help inform your decision if you are actually interested in this particular micro brand. I did enjoy going outside my comfort zone with this timepiece, and if you do enjoy the content, please let me know by subscribing to the channel. It really does help me out. So that's going to wrap up this video, and as always, I can't wait to catch you guys in the next review.